India's smartphone market, and you would expect that India is making smartphones for perhaps Asian economies. You would expect maybe European economies, but it appears that Indian-made smartphone has a bigger market, and the biggest market is that of the United States.
A third of all smartphones being made by India
are going to
the United States. It has jumped from 92 million last year to 812 million this year. So that is how big the jump is.
So 92 million to
92
800.
million to 810 million. That's almost, almost 10 times.
10
9 times.
Yes.
9 times.
In over a year.
Just a year.
Okay.
The curious thing is, pardon me for using that word, prior to 22-23, the exports of smartphones from India were minuscule.
Okay.
So data is not even worth mentioning.
Okay.
So it is just in the last 2 years, financial years, that this jump has happened. 157% this year over the last year on all smartphone exports from India. That's how big the market is. US is number one, followed by UAE, Netherlands, UK, Italy, and Czech Republic. I would see countries like Japan and Australia, where iPhones are used much more, the premium smartphones, are exports jumping in those countries as well in the coming year.
You know, all these efforts around making smartphones in India, making India a smartphone hub, seem to be coming to some sort of fruition.
No doubt. And look at what Foxconn is doing. I think we'll quickly try and move to that story as well. But I think, you know, all the investments that India has made through PLI, through becoming a very clear and present opponent and alternative to China in the world's China Plus One strategy, and picking on sectors which are going to be drivers of growth for the future, whether it is electric vehicles, automobiles, whether it is smartphones, whether it is even semiconductors. Now, I think India has made the right moves, the smart moves, good incentives, and incentives now being utilized by industry, both domestic as well as international, to actually make in India. So what we saw start off as a vision statement, mission statement, tagline called Make in India, Startup India, back in early days of the NDA government, 2014-15, are now actually finally bearing
seeing some
fruit.
light of the day, finally.
So I think it's exactly what we saw with liberalization of 1991.
Right.
It was a tagline, it was end of license Raj, it was a great economic, macroeconomic move. You started seeing fruits of that only 6, 7, 8 years later, right? I think we are seeing the Make in India fruits finally taste fairly sweet now.
Okay, fairly sweet.
To put words to the cliche, the lion full of levers and gears is roaring.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.